How are you?
I'm all right. Good for seeing you again. You know, I like you.
37 games gone, 90 minutes to go. What's going through your mind at the moment?
Just this morning has just been looking at the game back. That was the first thing I did this morning. And after the game, when you stood watching the game, you're thinking some different things. But when I look back at it, it's an absolute masterclass in defending and working as a group. It is. I've watched that in fine detail. Some of the performances within that, Charlie Taylor, Popey. It was just, honestly, it was top draw in terms of what you needed and what we had to do last night.
And you clearly talked about learning the lessons from the defeat against Villa a couple of weeks before. So you'd obviously learnt some lessons and passed that on.
Yeah, we did. We looked at it last time, obviously, with the threat they've got in behind with the pace. They changed their system a little bit from the last time as well, so they would probably looked at us against Spurs. So it was one of those games, I was saying after the game, it was a difficult game to manage from the side, because part of you is thinking we need to try and get some more pressure on them at the top end of the pitch, but on the other side of it you're thinking the big picture of what the game is and what's at stake. So it was very difficult not to. There's a big part of you thinks we need to really push these because we think we could have got at them a little bit more. But at the end, we've had some good chances to actually take the game.
So I'm guessing you and the players now mostly are in uncharted territory, in that it's all now resting on the one game. And if you lose it, you could still stay up, depending on the Leeds game. If you draw it, you could go down. Yeah. It's going to be a strange old day Sunday. What do you make of it Sunday?
I think when you're talking about the game, I think every game we've had since we've been here, they've said it's a must. They said you've got to get something out of this. You must get something out of that. You must get some. And the lads have been delivering. The performance have been strong. There was bits in the Villa game at home here where we made some errors. We made an error for the goal last night. But they've had that around them now for the last 6 or 7 games. They're used to living in that. So that'll stand them in good stead. And listen, and we know Sunday's going to be emotional. You've got to try and take that out of it. Use some of it. Use it as a bit of fire inside you as well. But I'm sure that'll be there. And go and attack the moments again.
That suggests they're almost relishing playing on the edge.
Yeah, I think that's where they're the best. Again, when I watched that game back last night, some of the work they've had to put in, but the detail within that we've worked on. That shows that they're focusing on what they're doing, which is what you need them to do at this stage of the season. Take all the noise out of it. Come there to Villa last night. We could have lost, but we come away with a point. We would still have had to do this Sunday. We still would have had to get some sort of result. So it's not really changed anything in that. We're in a little bit of better position. So we're just looking forward to Sunday now. Slightly
clearer now that you've only got one other game to keep your eye on.
Yes.
So have you got plans in place for that?
Yeah, we will have. We'll have, obviously. Obviously, you usually find that the fans let you know in these terms. You usually find that as well, but we'll be looking at that from the side. But I think it's very hard to judge, because at the end of the day, it only takes a second to score a goal. How you can say, well, we're going to do this, and what the result is somewhere else, unless it's somewhere where you're thinking, well, we're fine. It's very hard to judge that.
What are you expecting from Newcastle? Because they've had a terrific last few weeks. They're way clear of danger. Former Burnley manager, a couple of former Burnley players. It just adds to the mix, doesn't it?
It does. Newcastle have done great. I watched their game against Arsenal. I thought they were, with that crowd behind them, I thought they were brilliant. The way they went about the work. They've got a clear way that they want to play. And he's done a really good job there, Eddie.
And in terms of the end of the game, I don't know if you have had time to see what happened at Everton last night. I mean, Everton obviously clear and huge celebrations at Goodison Park. Did you see those pictures?
Yeah, I said until we came off, someone said it was 2-0, and then someone went it was 3. No, they won 3-2. Yeah, I seen the pictures, but listen, I said last night, congratulations to Everton. What they've achieved, what they needed to do. So well done to them. I see everyone on the pitch. Obviously, that's been well documented at the moment. What's happening with people coming on the pitch, but I think we just got to make sure that the players and managers are safe, and the people as well watching in the crowd. You don't want it to happen. It's very hard to stop in emotional times like that. But I think from what's happened in the last week, I think everyone can see that. Just make sure everyone's safe. They're to come and watch a game of football, and managers and players should stay safe on that piece of grass.
How difficult is that, though? Because if several hundred people suddenly decide to go on the pitch, you can't stop them.
No, I don't think you can. But hopefully it shouldn't take that. Hopefully from what's happened this week, it highlights that can't happen. You can't stop it. I totally agree. I think clubs take procedures to try and stop it. But it's very difficult, just like you said, hundreds of people coming on the pitch. But
what would you say to the fans?
I would say I understand why they do. But I'd say to them, just enjoy it. If that's what you decide to do, we can't stop you. But just remember, it's a football match. There's kids watching, there's families, and just think of it like that. You know, just take a step back and celebrate and whatever you need to do, but just have a think about that.
And it could be quite an emotional day. I don't know if you're aware of what happened in May 1987, Burnley against Orient, the win to keep them in the Football League. You'd have only been about 14 then, eh?
Yeah, something like that, yeah, 14, Jesus, yeah. Yeah.
But again, an equally dramatic day. They had to win to stay in the Football League. I mean, wonderful emotion at the end. I mean, it's all set possibly for a day like that, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what we want to happen. But we know there's a lot of hard work to go into that before we try and achieve that goal, and that's what everyone's wanted since we've been here, and I'll stay like that. We know what we need to do.
Good luck.
Cheers, thank you.
Mike, regardless of what happens on Sunday, just how proud are you of this group of players considering where they were only a few short months ago now?
Very, very proud, and I'm proud of them and the staff and the people that work really closely with me, the support that everyone's given myself and to the players. But the players are the ones who are playing, and they delivered it. And it's just about now that one more game, that one more final push to achieve what we want to do.
Jesse Marsh was talking to us last week and saying how he uses historical figures as inspiration and motivation. What do you use for inspiration and motivation?
The group themselves, because it's about them, what they've done, what they're capable of. Again, I've spoke to them this morning. I didn't give them enough credit after the game, but watching it back, they deserved a lot more praise from me than what they got. So know that motivation comes from within with us, for the group, all in. I said that the other day. Everyone's all in on it.
Speaking of inspiration and praise, I suppose, Nick Pope rightly garnered a lot of praise last night. I think it was something like 8 crucial saves, which is the most he's ever made in the game. Just talking about inspiration, how much do the players draw inspiration from that when you see a goalkeeper or your goalkeeper playing an absolute blinder?
Yeah, he's been doing that for a long time now, and he's pulled off some unbelievable saves last night. But again, when I'm watching the game back, sometimes in a game you're playing against quality, and these quality moments there from someone like McGinn, who's on the night I thought was excellent. You know, a top player. And some of the saves he's had to make have been from just sheer bits of quality. It's not been through mistakes. And that's what you have to deal with at this level. These players can produce these moments of magic. A lot of the shots were from distance, but Popey still had to make them saves. But I said to the guys today, sometimes you can't stop everything. You just got to make sure when it does come, and we're good, that we've got a goalkeeper like Nick.
I imagine Sean Dyche is somewhere watching on Sunday, or will be watching. Has he been in touch at all? Do you think he will be? Or
he's texted me after games. Like I said, I don't want to go too much into that, but I'm sure his best wishes will be with the group as well.
if the fans at Turf Moor are even half as good as the away following last night at Villa Park, you're going to stand a pretty big chance on Sunday, aren't you?
Yeah, we're going to need them. The atmosphere that it can create. You see that now from the away grounds that you go to. We went to Spurs. You go to Villa last night. You hear the Newcastle fans. You know, it can make a massive difference to drive the group on.
And just finally, obviously it's an emotional time. It's a stressful time in this relegation battle for you, for the players. What about your family and everyone who's your support structure?
Yeah, no, the family, I'm not seeing much of them. The missus has taken on the full flack with that. She can't even watch the telly when it's on last night. She sits in another room. My lads are watching it, but it's part and parcel of it. You know, it's what it is. No problem.
Hi, Mike. Just a couple of quick housekeeping ones. I think you said you were going to sort of look at Matt Loughton and whether you were going to consider an appeal. Is that a decision that's been made yet? Or
Yeah,
not?
we're thinking seriously about doing that. We're in the process of doing that now, because obviously we looked at the footage back, and we think we've got a strong case. So we're in the process of trying to do that now.
Do you anticipate Jay Rodriguez being able to? I don't know if you've done just a recovery session this morning, have you, or whether he's taken part in anything? Or
No, just recovery session. He's been with the physios today. He's been out on the grass again, and he's stepping up. So again, that'll be I think that's probably a 50-50 at this moment in time.
We've been speaking a lot about the sort of team effort that it's been since you came in. Can you just sort of talk a little bit about Paul Jenkins and what his sort of role's been and what he offers and how that dynamic between the two of you has worked?
Yeah, no, Jenks has been great. Supporting each other, speaking to each other. He's a good foil for me as well in and around the lads. And all I can say is he's been brilliant. We've done this together. We've done this together. We speak about the game, how we think we're going to play, listen to each other's ideas, along with obviously Ben's had his input from the lads' point of view. But I can't speak highly enough of what he's done, to be honest.
You obviously had a bit of a relationship with him previously with his role. How much has that sort of helped that you know him as a person as well as much of a?
No, definitely. He's a good guy as well. You know, family man from up in the northeast, so you know he's got a bit about him as well in that. So, but yeah, we've had a good relationship. Obviously, we speak a lot about when we do the 23s as well, how we can improve things. And we just when this happened, all right, what we're going to do? Let's do our best we can.
We spoke a lot about Popey in the last sort of 24 hours, rightly so. Obviously, there's no Billy Mercer now, someone he worked with for a long time, and Wayne Hennessy's very experienced, and O'Connor King's come into the fold as well. How's that sort of dynamic working? Is Wayne stepped up a little bit in terms of sort of advice, or has he always been that kind of guy as well?
Yeah, no, Wayne's like that anyway. The experience, he's got 100 caps for Wales, so he's helped massively along with young Connor. Young Connor's done unbelievable for such a young lad to take two international goalkeepers. I couldn't speak highly enough of him again, but that's the foundations that with Billy. Billy brought him into the fold and involved him with the first team keepers. That's the sort of guy Billy is. You know, he brought the young lad in, mentored him, spoke to him, you know, and took him under his wing, and that's helped him massively. But he's done brilliant with the keepers.
What are you going to do Monday morning?
Oh God, I don't know. I don't know. I'll let you know.
Nice one. All the best for Sunday.
Cheers. Thank you.
You mentioned Rodriguez there. I just wanted to ask, are there any other changes on the injury front?
No, at that moment in time, it's probably Jay who's got the best chance out of the lads that are injured at this moment in time. Obviously, we've got long-term ones. Again, Vids is in today, and Ash again supporting the group. So Jay's probably the one with the most chance.
And Tarkovsky obviously came back. Did he come through the game okay?
Yeah, he came through okay. He's obviously had recovery today. He feels fine. You know, it's just a day of recovery, rest, food, and get ready to go.